What to expect from the European Union in 2025? Welcome to RIX Europe. Pieter Cleppe, editor for Brussels Report and RIX Europe.
Thank you, Rebecca.
So starting off with the war in Ukraine, what are we going to see there? Will there be any new initiatives, plans?
Well, of course, the big change is that Donald Trump is entering office as President of the United States. He has a plan. It's not entirely clear what the plan is. He no longer wants to solve it in 24 hours, but he now wants to solve it in 100 days, according to one of his advisors. Russia has already said that they would not accept part of his plan, which is to sort of freeze the conflict and send European peacekeepers to guard the peace in a demilitarized zone between the two sides. I think it's anybody's guess whether Trump will be able to convince Putin to actually stop the war. Now, what's the role of the European Union in all of this? Well, the EU is, I would say, of course, side by side with the United States, but the EU is still divided. Countries like Poland, for them, it's an absolute top priority. They want to increase the sanctions. In February, they hope to agree more sanctions against Russia. Other countries are less convinced about that. But we'll have to see. Of course, a big demand from Trump to the European countries will be to increase their defense spending. And indeed, if his plan would work with Ukraine, to accept that they will have to pay for these peacekeepers that would be posted over there, and also likely the reconstruction of Ukraine, because you can be sure that Trump is going to try to send that bill to Europe as well.
And in terms of trade, will Donald Trump cause big challenges?
Well, in the last month, he has been sending all kinds of warning signals. He has said that he's interested in buying Greenland, getting back the Panama Canal, even inviting Canada to become a new state in USA. Now, of course, knowing Trump and having read The Art of the Deal, we know that he believes that you need to create a bit of a fight and then come to some kind of a compromise. Also, during his first term, at the end of the day, a lot of his threats have not materialized, but some of them have. He did introduce some tariffs that did provoke some counter tariffs. So the question is, how will European countries and the EU react on that? So I think it's very important, first of all, to try to maximize the diplomatic route, not to strike first. There's some bureaucrats in Brussels were considering that. That's apparently off the table. But, I think it's in March. In theory, if the EU does nothing, then tariffs that were planned on the United States, which date back to retaliation tariffs from the first term of Trump, they will enter into force. So, of course, a sign of goodwill would be for European countries and the EU to say, look, to show that we want to avoid tariffs and this trade war, we will extend unilaterally already this exemptions from tariffs. So that would be good. Now, the thing is, it's a lot broader than that, because the European Union is also coming with its own climate tariff, CBAM. The EU finds it very unfair that the rest of the world does not copy its suicidal energy policies. So that's why it has decided this CBAM tariff scheme. Now, I don't think Trump has heard about it, or at least he has not posted about it on social media. But I'm sure that when he hears that the EU is starting to introduce climate tariffs on American imports, that will not, make him any milder. So that's going to be a big thing, I think, at some point. But moreover, there is, of course, the Deforestation Directive, which is a range of regulations and bureaucracy the European Union is imposing on its trading partners. Now, first it was Malaysia and Indonesia that were angry about this because these countries import a lot of palm oil into Europe. And palm oil has been accused of causing deforestation. Now, specifically in Malaysia, they've actually secured a lot of progress in terms of fighting deforestation. They have their own standards in order to do that. A lot of the palm oil imported into Europe, I think 80 or 90% is complying with those standards. The United Kingdom says, okay, we will accept the Malaysian standards that are, that are also praised by NGOs. The EU does not want to do that. That has not only caused anger with this important South Asian economy, but also with Brazil and importantly also with the United States, with the Biden administration. So, the Deforestation Directive, the introduction has been postponed until the 1st of January 2026. But also this will be a big point of contention with Trump. No way that Trump will accept that the EU will burden American importers into Europe with even more bureaucracy.
And of course, European European leaders have been under scrutiny from Elon Musk. He's posted a few things about a few of them. How do you see this sort of conflict escalating or not?
Well, Musk has rapidly become the nemesis of European elites, you could say. He has been directly criticizing savagely leaders like German Chancellor Scholz, but also British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. In the UK, Musk is angry about what he calls the ineffective policies of the Labour government to tackle this terrible grooming scandal, which involved a lot of people from an immigrant background. And the accusation is that the Labour Party and before Keir Starmer, when he was prosecutor, did not do enough because they were afraid to be accused of racism. Now in Germany. Musk has declared the Alternative for Germany party as the only, hope for Germany. That's, let's say, not very much in line with the European consensus. The European media elites are incredibly angry about this. Combine this with the fact that this has not been realized so much, I think, but that people are rapidly abandoning the mainstream media. I just saw that the Washington Post lost, I think it was like 2/3 of its readers in the last 4 years. So this is really accelerating. Of course, the United States is ahead, but also in Europe, you can see that people take their news from social media. Of course, it's not always as reliable, that is true, but also the mainstream media is far from perfect. They also try to promote certain often center-left narratives, and all of this is now causing some political parties in Europe even to demanding that social media would be outlawed. The Greens in France are demanding this. The Francophone Greens in Belgium, well, they only want a temporary ban. So they are the most radical when it comes to this at the moment. But I think it's very worrying to see that, in Belgium, the party that's proposing this is still a governing party. That they are coming with such authoritarian measures, to completely ban, media and social media on very arbitrary, shaky grounds. I think it shows that some people on the left are in a panic, and the face of the enemy for them is definitely Elon Musk, especially since he has been supporting Donald Trump so strongly. But I think there's no turning back, because either these European media and political elites go fully the authoritarian way, And I don't think European voters would accept that, or they basically accept the new reality, which is that the media have lost a lot of their power and and their influence.
Thank you so much, Pieter Cleppe, editor for Brussels Report, and of course for Riks Europe as well.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Riks Europe.